So, module 3, we're on the main object. We've done the sea and the sky for a second time. You can start to see, sorry. I know. Well, you're starting to see like some really nice stuff happening in the sky. The sea, we went over the main object, but as we know roughly where it is because the marks are still there. So we're just going to do some more work on this before we move on to the next part of the process. So plenty of water, not so much water at this level, okay? Not so much as we started with, a bit less water, but it needs to sort of just flow. So you've made your marks already. You know where you want to be putting this paint. And also nothing's wasted, so you don't need to paint over what you've already painted because it serves as like shadows. It serves as shadows, but you can use them to get a rough idea because we're going to have one more go at all of this in the next module. And of course, the truth is you can have as many goes at this as you want with the acrylic. You can put more and more paint on if you want until you become satisfied with the end result with acrylics. You can also go and put oils on top, but which I've done on that. That's the way, that's exactly precisely what I'm going to do with this afterwards. So I'm not going to worry too much myself about, I just want to get the main structure here. Now, interestingly, I didn't paint it. It needs to go further across than I had it originally there. So, like a dark blues and reds and reds and blues, right? So. Bit darker, a bit more blue in there already. So I've gone for the green because the blue, the purple, purpley red at this stage works quite nicely. So it's all about dynamics across and down, which I've said a few times, I think. This part of the structure over here hasn't got so much density in the framework. It's remembering that this goes round in a big sort of circle, so there's struts. There we have it. So I'm just going to go over the top part of the structure as well again. I really like what's happened there, but I just want to for the top part, I am sort of using the marks that I've already got, but not too accurately because again, like these different marks that you've made act as shadows. Just a few odd marks around here. There's quite a lot happening there, but what I want to get is the light coming through this part. So there's a few odd marks like this that you can add on the way as well. So be creative. So a bit more. So there we have it. So there we have it. Basically, that's 2 coats of acrylic. And already, oh, that looks a bit strange, doesn't it? I've got a bit carried away there. So actually I can put some flicks here, some dark flicks, like shadows almost. I'm going to move on. I'm going to put more paint on the sea, more paint on the hut. We're just going to go around it once more, and we'll have a finished, really interesting piece of work without stacks of worrying, anxiety, I can't do it, etc., etc., etc. It's possible to get to this point. So that's all we're going to do on module 3. The next and final module of this free course, this free acrylic basic beginners course. On module 4, like I said, we're going to go through each of the sections again. I'm going to put more meat onto your understanding, really. And you can use this process for anything that you paint. See, and then it is like trial and error, really. And I think the important thing is just to gain confidence in what you like and what you don't like. And then the next step, if you just can't decide, or you're too self-damning and all of these sort of things, the way to break out of that is really to share with others, like I'm doing with you now. Because then you begin to get a rounded idea of the work that you're producing. Not that you need to worry about what other people say, it doesn't actually matter. But what you'll find is their observations. Initially, you may not want to hear it, or you don't agree with them, etc., etc. But those observations, they just enable you to reflect in depth about what you're doing and what, and especially it's really important to learn to take on the praise when you get it. When people say something's really great, see if you can go, thank you, as opposed to, well, it's all right, but it's really tempting to do, isn't it? Observe all those things. They're really useful. They're really useful. And then you find oh, do I do that all the time? Not just with painting. That's what I've found. And that's why my well-being and general health has improved so greatly in such a short period of time. So see you on module 4.